Okay, thank you everybody for joining me. This is Speak of the Joker. We are continuing right where we left off yesterday. We cut this stream into two parts. So this is the conclusion of the stream and the conclusion of the game. Thanks. Oh! So this whole time we're painting the mural, right? Oh. Only one letter. That's right. The post is hard to get here. Oh, the path is nigh impossible to traverse, and the heavy snow is hard on the horse and me. Hey, do we don't pay for this? How does this work? I don't know. Ah, good. Okay. The relevant reply. I do recall the Rothgard case, though it's been over a decade. I'm no longer associated with the office of the Prince Bishop. In fact, I'm no longer associated with the Catholic Church. Oh, if you don't mind conversing with a Lutheran, I'll tell you what I remember. I investigated several murders as Archie, but none of them had a curious specter in Capsiri that haunted. After the pheasants burned Curacao, I read a report suggesting that a conspiracy was behind the murder of the town carpenter as well. It was around this time that I did some research of my own into the death of Father Matthews. Yes, so he died under suspicious circumstances, according to me, but not according to anybody in the game. While no one suspected foul play at the time, I had my reason to believe the death may be connected to the two other murders. Yes, whoever read the book that I'm currently holding then died. If this is the case, a serpent has lain coiled in the bosom of your community for decades. It may lay there still. What causes the serpent to awaken every few years to stage a new killing? I fear that finding the answer to that question may draw you into its reach. However, if you are determined to find the source of trouble, I believe you must inquire with your neighbors. I urge caution in your investigation into this matter. If the serpent merely sleeps, it may be dangerous to poke into its old resting places. I mean, it has to be an older person. I hope it's been decades. I hope this keeps you safe. 25 years at least. Jacob. Cool. Alright, well that was interesting. Kind of confirms what we were thinking. A reply. No reply. Must have been delayed due to the heavy snow. Yep. I'd better get back to sources then. See more work has been done. So, we need to learn about the revolt, but I don't know... Whoa. Okay, so several weeks have gone past. That was a little bit of a surprise. Oh, good morning, Dad. I finally cut out the mural. Now I can start finally. I promise I'll get it done. Oh, I'm so proud of you. Thanks, Dad. Well, I'm glad he's still alive, but ooh, it's not great. Drink a little water. I'm sorry Dr. Salt can't come to the festivity. I know how much you love. Ah, there's always next year. Yeah, right. Oh, boy. How are you feeling? I'm fine. Okay, are you sure? Do you need anything? Maybe I should go. Alright, I'll come by later to check on you. Later will be fine, I'll still be here. In fact, my spirits are lifted today. It's Christmas Eve, after all. Of course. Speed run! What do you mean? It's like the note I found in your plans for the murals. Just a scrap of parchment. It looked like it came out of an old manuscript. Elaborate writing, purple ink. It just says stop. Do you know where it came from? Who wrote them? Magdalene, Oh god. It must be Otz. He said he'd drop by with more firewood. Oh, did somebody just knock? Can we finish this conversation before we go to the door? If you know something, I'd like you to tell me, alright? I know I will. Can we talk about it later? Dad? I'll tell you, I promise. Okay, so he's definitely gonna die. before we can talk to him, because this game is never going to give us any answers. We got to play for 25 hours to get the smallest answers. I'm not getting bitter. Hello, good morning. Morning, cold out, isn't it? Ah, yes, yes, yes. Even Andreas has his forge to keep him warm. Anyways, I brought some firewood for you and your dad. Well, thank you very much. That's very nice of you. You're welcome. We don't need to be a jerk to him. He's just a little weird. How's your dad? I think you can join for Christmas Mass? I think I'll stay in bed. I'll do my best. Keep working on that mural, though. About the revolt, it feels weird to talk about. It affected Tassian so much, but we were just kids. I can't remember what happened since I was just a baby I've never seen. I never even knew my dad. That's what makes it difficult. I need to go ask those who were already adults that night, and I don't want to touch raw nerves. What if you spoke to people while everyone was preparing for the Christmas festivities? Sure. Claire sometimes talks about that night with Mom, too, if you're able to ask. Yes, of course. They're the only two Benedictines left in Tassian's. Maybe they'll talk to me. Sure. I didn't think of that. Still, the mural is for Tassian's, not for the old Abbey. Agnes has always been in Tassian, right? I'd go talk to her. Yep. So that sounds like a good person to talk to. Dad said she helped bury everyone who died that night. I wonder if she'll talk about it. Okay. It's your project. Might be worth a try. I wrote the old archdeacon. He thinks the deaths are connected to the revolt. The man who came to Tassian's for the Baron's murder. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I'll say this. This guy's not going to know who he was. He was a baby. He was a judge of the Baron's murder, but thinks all the deaths are connected. I don't see how the old Baron has anything to do with the revolt. Are you feeling all right? Okay, don't gaslight me. I need to get to the bottom of this. There's something more to all this. I know it. Yep. All I want to do is get to the bottom of this, and I have no idea if this game is going to let me do that. Act 1 and Act 2 had no answers. Only questions. No one? Can I see the mug again? There's a bet involved. Okay. Hopefully seeing the bug has solved your bet. And thank you for the follow, Pandan79. I am quite thirsty though, but honestly, I think this water's been in there for a couple days, so it doesn't taste the best. But that's okay. I mean, it's still water, but there's interesting chemical things that happen. Pandad said he would follow if the mug was big enough. It's hard to get much bigger, so I'm sure it's possible, but I have big hands. This is a big mug. This is my big head. I have a big head, too. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'1". I'm almost 300 pounds. I'm a big guy. That's a big mug. This is, here we go. This is like a normal size coffee mug. This is, there you go. For scale. Okay, let us continue. But thank you for the follow, and I'm glad that the mug was big enough for you. Lots of right, I should talk to people around town. Yep. I better get started if I want to before everyone goes off to the blah blah blah. Okay, where's everybody celebrating? He said talk to everybody. Basically, all I'm doing now is talking to everybody. But oh nope, I didn't want to go in there. But here's my question: How do we talk to everybody about the revolt and solve this larger mystery? Because all I really care about is solving the larger mystery. Is there anybody in here? Nope, not this guy. Where's Agnes? Agnes was the wife of the stonemason who was killed, right? Right? Veronica, Bridget, Agnes. Ooh, I'm good at this. I didn't expect to see you today. How is your father? He's not well. How about he's not well? Maybe she'll give us a little sympathy. She doesn't hate us. I don't know. Ours as well. Now there's something I can help you with, dear. Yes, tell me everything. Oh, okay, so we got a question. So I didn't know you when San Diego happened. I didn't know Game Cat or Evo back then either. Will you be attending Vegas this year? So the TwitchCon is on a very precarious weekend for me this year, and I actually haven't brought it up in the Discord yet. I've been meaning to, but just life has been really busy. I'm not sure if I will be able to attend TwitchCon this year. I would really like to, but I have back-to-back commitments, literally before and after. It would just be a very busy several days, basically. That's the short version. So, I'm not sure, but I'd like to. And the other thing is, like, side note, I used to, although just things have been obviously a little different the last couple of years, I used to go to Vegas a lot. So I hate the idea of paying for a room. But because TwitchCon's there's not as many free rooms. You usually just get like a free room through one of the casinos. But I don't know. So that's the long answer to your question. I'm a maybe, and I've got a few months to figure it out. That's the whole story. But it would be cool to meet you. It was great to hang out with everybody. I had a really good time. Evo was a lot of fun to hang out with too. Just a very chill guy, and I mostly hung out with Evo, Monkey Fist, and Val. Couldn't have asked for chiller three guys to hang out with, really. Had a really nice time. The actual, like, con itself was like, oh, okay, whatever. I guess we're here. But just the hanging out with everybody was really nice. Okay, Agnes, you're old. Remember things that happened in this town? Yeah, let's not call her old. Let's say, do you have a favor? Go on, spit it out. If it isn't too much trouble, I'd like you to recount the days of the revolt. Oh, I'm nearly done with my mural and I need more details. Well, she's going to be really mad. For that project of yours, I'm afraid it won't be much good to say about the matter, but all right. Cool. It took me years to get this technique of nonsense. You're always being fine. Yeah, I was at the con for maybe 3 hours total over the days. Yeah, I think I was there a little longer, but I didn't really go to the events. I was, like, walking around the expo hall. Like there were, like, classes and stuff, and honestly, a large part of my work, my actual work, is a lot of networking and doing presentations, like, even at conferences doing presentations. So, when I was there, I just didn't really want to sit in a room to learn, like, good techniques for, like, getting followers or something. Like, I'm sure it was useful information, and I know people that did say they actually got a lot out of it, but I just couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. It's too much like work. It's too much like work. Oh, what part of the revolt? The abbot was starving? I actually do, now that I think about it, I do have a video on YouTube where I cut out a section just talking about TwitchCon for like 17 minutes. But, yeah. So, I'm a maybe for 2023. I thought the abbot carousel was acting on its own rights. Thought there was attempt to talk the abbot. Yeah, let me say this. Everyone but the miller hated him with good reason. He only ever cared for how many pfennigs he could get from us. Don't forget to twist the ends in. Okay, whatever. So, we're talking to her because we actually want a very critical of the church version. After your father died, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So we don't actually, like, need the details of what she's saying because, you mean, Andreas, I thought he was my dad's friend. After the artist got your father killed. That said, none of it was his fault. That said, Master Maler made some mistakes, but he was seeking justice. Yeah, I'll go with that one. I know she doesn't think that. Not only did he not intervene, but he stuck in his nose against the man snuck up and dug up our secrets best left in the ground. Oh, what kind of secrets? He accused my husband of killing a noble. God forgive me, but I could kill that man. And then come back and start a riot among the peasants? Oh, he deserved that fire. Mom, calm down. It was 20 years ago. Well, he didn't actually start the fire. Or he didn't start the rebellion. Did the revolt accomplish anything? I've always heard that the night was a slaughter. Why didn't anyone stop the peasants? What do we want to say? So she's a townsperson. My dad said the town folks didn't stand with the peasants as long as they should have. Yeah, let's say with that. Well, I won't regard Klaus's opinion, even if he's wrong. Oh, man, it's a shame what had happened. I think I knew the revolt was a bad idea from the start. It's the old church now, before the fire. Someone like to say things were always bad. Violence was the only way, but it wasn't. Got a lot worse over the years, blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right. I think we have enough from her to paint the mural the way that we want to paint it. Things got better in the end. If the revolt wasn't totally fair, did he, the abbot, and the monks have left? The abbey may have gone, but Tassignoli has traded one lord for another. Peasants were so angry over the abbot perceived injustices that they thought they could make it right with even more injustices. Yeah. Soldier even warned Peter, but nothing would stop him besides steel. Ah, the Lord is just as severe as the abbey was and threatens force at every turn. That's true. I saw him in the forest, threatening force. This is true. You can struggle and die to accomplish something, and nothing changes. The dead are lucky or they died believing they changed something. We're stuck with the harsh reality. Okay, cool. Thank you for sharing your story with me. Hey, that's all we wanted. That is all we wanted. Good luck. Okay. So I think sometimes what this game does, especially when it's coming to an end, it forces you to pick the people you're going to talk to before your time is up. So I think we don't really have a ton of options about who we're talking to. Yeah, we'll go here. Great. Okay, lots of people here. Yep, this guy. So they talked about. Oh, so they specifically called out that he would know more, but he doesn't want to talk to me. That's surprising. Oh, okay. I need to initiate the conversation with one person, and then I can talk to everybody. Okay, that's a little silly. How's the weather? We've been prepping for the feast here all day. It's cold. Fresh and brisk. Colder than usual. I'm glad to be indoors now. It's colder than I remember being for decades. Blah, blah, blah. Whew. And we're going to keep our fingers warm. This feels like the start of a musical right here. Tell me I'm wrong. I didn't do anything. You snuck your little fingers into my cookie dough 3 times today. Nice. Don't anger the blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Bad enough cookie dough. Can I ask about the history, please? Yes, thank you. I was hoping you could tell me what you remember about the revolt. No one wants to talk about it. You two are the only ones left who used to live in the Abbey. Okay. Oh, so that's right. Oh, so this guy was a brother and he just, I guess, gave that up to just be a townsperson? The only ones who stayed, anyways. Matilda and I have been friendly long enough with the people of the town. I do remember. We put it behind us in time. You can imagine the other brothers had little reason to remain. Yeah, I actually can. Old Adoc made it out, I think. Which one is he? Oh, yeah, that, so... The Gurno guy here at the bottom, he's the one who I've always really didn't like. But I don't think that he's really probably the one behind everything. That might be a little too simple, if you ask me. I've seen him around these parts over the years, but turned friendly enough, blah, blah, blah. I'm not sure what happened to the others. Good in any case. But the whole thing is subjective. Why are you asking? Here we go. I want to honor everyone who fought in the revolt. I want to portray the event truthfully in the mirror. So I'm trying, that's what I want to do. For the sake of seeing it portrayed right, I'll tell you what I remember. Okay. Come here, cut out cookies. Okay, alright. Cut out your cookies. We'll be grateful for your help. Alright, cut out cookies from the dough and set aside so Simon can put them on a tray. We'll need a good variety of shapes, so don't hesitate to change what cutter you're using. Okay. We have enough. We have to have enough for the whole town. Why is it? I'm confused. Select? Oh, okay. How do I know which one I'm... I think I'm gonna use my mouse for this. Okay. I think I might use the mouse. Why wouldn't I... How do you rotate? Oh my god. How do you rotate? Oh, there we go. You can rotate. Yep. I'm making cookies. This is like weirdly precarious with the way the mouse rotation is. Ooh, I can't quite get to the next row. Look at all I left behind. Oh yeah, I definitely could have done a better job. It's trying to tell me I'm too close to the edge or too close to the other cookie. Nah. Yeah. What? What's the problem? What's the problem? Come on, don't tell me that's a prop. Oh, man. Huh? Oh, I think I'm so clever, but I'm actually not. How is that? How is that not an option? All right. You know what? I thought I had enough space to, like, make this more useful, but I guess I don't. Huh? Huh? This is... Am I doing a good job or a bad job? I don't actually know. I'm actually not very bad at this in real life. This is an actual skill I have. Give me that one? No. Why is it being such a brat about these bigger shapes? I wish it would tell me why. It's just like, nah, that doesn't count. Alright, what do I need? Some circles? I don't know that the circles... Circle, circle, circle. What if I... Hold on. Watch this. Might be, like, too late for this. Alright, I've really gone off the rails, but here's what I was thinking. The circle kind of fits, like, perfectly in there. But then this one is, like, way too close. I totally messed that one up. This is weird. Okay, we're gonna... How long do I have to do this, also, by the way? Come on. Oh, come on, game. Yes. I really left no space in here. Ooh, that was bad. Oof, that was bad. That was bad. How we doing? This is not amazing. One of the things we absolutely need is more hearts. So let's just jam a heart right here. Oh, I thought for sure I could squeeze it in. Oh, I really, really did a very bad job of this. I did such a bad job. I tell you, this is an actual skill I have in real life. But also, by the way, the dough that's not cut out, you just roll it up. You just roll it up and you make more. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. More circles. Boy, I really, really did a terrible job. Just only by like a couple inches, though. Like, look at this. Actually, you know what? I could squeeze a bird in there. I don't know if you get more points for the harder ones. I definitely could squeeze another bird in there. Is there like a minimum? The game has given me no directives, by the way, about how many I need to do. Alright, I think I can do 3 more with this, like, horrible layout. There we go. That's the best I could do with mistakes were made. Mistakes were absolutely made. Okay. How'd I do? Are you done? Oh, I got an achievement! Oh, you can't see it. Okay. Cookie Master. Okay. I did it. Yeah, I'm done. These look wonderful! Thank you! You can make more if you want, but it looks like we have enough. I think I'm good for now. We can't repeat. Go in foods. Everything will proceed tonight. So what can we tell you, Mags? Yep. Okay, good. Here we go. I heard that they came to town before the revolt. So these guys were like the rebels. Could things really been talked out, or was it too late? Was anybody listening? They were trained soldiers, and they killed so many people. The abbot really think threatening you would work. Let's go in the middle here. Some people did. Your father, for one. He left the peasants' cause after that. Said he never forgave himself for that. You won't bring any of them back, will it? But enough of that. Magdalene or Klaus's fault. The revolt turned poorly. There's some people who wanted to talk. Master Maler worked hard to keep the peace, but after Otto was killed... Oh, Andreas, a shame how he died. We at the monastery were fond of him. Dad said he was instrumental in keeping the revolt from getting out of hand. He regrets not standing by him. He was! Oh! He had a personal dinner with the abbot to try to discuss things, I believe. A pity they couldn't come to an agreement. Andres had good for Tassins and Kurosawa too. Wow, so these people have a very different opinion of my previous character. Good. Abbot failed even to reveal the corruption our town midst. The old prior Pentiment had been doing witchcraft in the church. Well, not quite. I still grieve that he died in the abbey fire. I know your father does too. But he wasn't in the revolt. It sounds like no one could have opposed the abbey at all. Otto always said we had natural rights and that Christians opposed the father. We couldn't even collect in the forest without a fee. Dad kept saying we couldn't live with higher and higher taxes. Yes, this is all true. The night Otto died, the abbot was trying to excommunicate everybody for celebrating St. John's Eve. That's right, I remember that. A lot of people thought the abbot killed him in revenge. Nah, he didn't. Turns out it was Hannah, the innkeeper's wife. Still say we just pressed it in the Miller. We're not actually sure. Oh yeah, GameCat is responding too. Yeah, he will be going to TwitchCon. Check the Discord. Check the Discord. I'll put a link in the Discord for anybody who doesn't have it. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, it's in the description. But yeah, check out the Discord, and then everyone talks about what's going on. Still, after Otto and Ulrich, that was too much. We burned the mill. Both of them inside. The abbot promised to help if Andreas found the person who killed Otto. All we wanted was to talk. But didn't you just say you burned down the mill? Yeah, I'm going to call him out immediately. Only to protect ourselves. They were both murderers. Yep, you protect yourself by burning people alive inside a building. Interesting. It was too much for Peter. Just killed Eric, but he had to burn the abbey. When they saw the fire, they thought we had another revolt on their hands. Even the father couldn't stop them. We all fled. Saved as many lives as he could, but Peter was wrong to burn the abbey. But what the soldiers did, that was awful. Wow. I thought the knights were supposed to be like the people. Okay, rarely does life match heroism in stories. Dad died protecting me, stabbed in the chest. I don't even remember what he was wearing, but I remember how dark the blood was when he found him. Almost black and sticky. Great. This is very sad, which makes sense, because it was a bad, sad thing that happened. Dad shocked one of the soldiers. Socked one of the soldiers in the face, but another one was right there. And can we stop talking about this? Of course, I'm sorry. Yes, thank you for talking to me. I'll do my best on the mural. Good luck. I wanted to say no. I'm making a mural. That's it. Is there anything else? Do I have anybody else to talk to? Let me check the journal. Yeah, well, this one I still can't get anybody to translate. They revealed there was failure. I spoke with Agnes, Claire's husband. Is there anybody else I need to talk to? Nothing at the Abbey. There is no quest markers. Okay, well, based on the way this game usually works, I think I will head back into town and something will happen. Because it's not telling me something to do. So that's my theory. Or we can head back to the place to do the painting. Is this it? Do we have what we need? Now, let's try to talk to the doctor one more time about translating. He's not here. Great. I'm feeling ill-prepared to make a decision. I already talked to her. Who else would I talk to? I need to work the last part of the mural. I should go out and meet him. Okay. Otts had some good suggestions. Many participants witnessed. I speak with Agnes. Done. Clara's husband was right in the middle of everything. I should talk to her as well. Okay, so Clara. There are a lot of people gathering at the Golden Hand to prepare for the Christmas feast. Some have memories. I helped with the cookies. So the only person I haven't talked to is Clara. Okay, all right, great. So I did miss somebody. I don't 100% remember where she is. I'm going to guess. I think she is the woman who I stayed with in the first game. I kind of wish when they mentioned people's names that they, like, always said the last name. Here we go. This is it. Yep. Oh! I would have thought you'd be working on the mural. What brings you here? Well, I'll tell you what brings me here. I'd like to sit with you and ask how you remember the rebellion so I can paint it. Oh, that was a sad time. But if it'll help you memorialize the those who lost their lives in the revolt. I was a little older than you. I probably remember more. No, you don't remember anything. Of course. All right. This is it, folks. No big reveal on the larger conspiracy still, but now that you're all settled, what did you want to know? Did the revolt have anything to do with the murder that happened? Ooh. Murder the Baron, you mean? No, not really. I only remember that Andreas attempted to be peacekeeper in both situations. Ah, yes. I suppose that's when things started going poorly. Poor Agnes. Lucky was a strong man. He's still heartbroken over the matter. I spoke with her. She blamed Andreas for Lucky's death and said that he caused most of the rioting. Ah, she loved her husband. She'd never seemed capable of doing anything wrong. I can't say that Andreas was wholly uninvolved in Lucky's sentencings, but he only helped the peasants during the revolt. This was really only after the Baron's murder that the abbot became so severe. I bet he blamed the Baron's murder on Tassing's and the abbot's failures too. I don't know about any of that, but his taxes and restrictions and his attitude towards us became harsher. Exactly, that's really the problem. It was all we could do to live by them, but it eventually became too much. Even with all the restrictions, was the revolt really justified? I keep hearing conflicting stories about it now, how it began. Yeah, I don't really care about the revolt at this point. I care about the deeper mystery. We're almost at the end here, folks. We're almost at the end, and if I don't get some satisfactory ending, I'm gonna write me a letter to Obsidian. I know things were bad for peasants, but was it all worth the loss? I thought the peasants stormed the abbey unprovoked. Agnes blamed Andreas for starting the revolt. Okay, let's start with that. Agnes is just angry because she thinks it's her fault her husband died. Ursula, enough. Agnes has a right to her grief. Andreas only ever sought peace, from what I remember. He took upon himself to try to find justice, even though it wasn't his home. Truly, it's thanks to him that we had peace for so long. We did everything we could to keep things from getting violent, but the Lord had other plans. Remember how sick and hungry I was all the time? Grandpa kept saying we hadn't always been like that. It was all fine until Hannah, Nico's wife, killed Otto because she feared what would happen to the Abbey shutdown, which may or may not have happened. Well, my husband wouldn't let that rest. We all wanted justice. When the soldiers arrived and threatened us, all the townfolks pulled away, except for the people. No, Clara, I'm afraid I was intimidated. Beg your to leave the matter. My husband stood alone with the peasants. What did all the peasants revolt anyway? So many people died. They must have known it wouldn't be a success. Dad always talks about how he regrets that choice. That's why he wanted to paint the mural. Your father is unique in that regret. Most of the other town folks see the revolt's failure as proof that it was doomed from the start. Interesting. That is a different way of looking at it. Truly, the entire town banded together. We likely could have succeeded without violence at all. But then we were so starved and wanted justice. So much Peter truly thought success was possible. There There was still some decision. They wanted peace. Then that Miller protected that woman. He always hated us. Thought he was better than us. Language! What, Mom? I truly... And then they shot him out of nowhere. It was unprovoked. They always hate the rest of the town folks and would take advantage of anyone they could. So it's funny, they remember this history wrong, right? Because I played the game. He was trying to shoot Peter and missed and shot the other guy. He didn't just shoot him unprovoked. My husband sought peace. It was the last martyr to us. I think the Miller shot him to retaliate, but after that, Peter couldn't be stopped. We lost too much. The burning the Abbey was a grim night. And the soldiers coming in. Our men fought to protect us, protect Tassing, and so many died in that fight. But we got rid of the abbot and all the monks, at least. Yes, that's some comfort, if only a little. Oh, they really do see the new lord as better. There aren't any heroes of Tassing's I should memorialize. Dad. Peter always wanted the best for Tassing's, even if he acted rashly by setting fire to the abbey. Hope you can portray him in the best light. Ooh, I don't know. He really did set fire to the abbey. That was bad. I'd rather not talk about that night anymore. I hope we provide enough insight for you. Whatever. Thank you. Cool. Oh, okay. This is it. That is everybody mentioned in our journal. Yep, and now it's locked. Time to go to the commons, yep. Oh, we're going to the commons for a ceremony. Whoa! Hey, the last time I was here. Okay, that guy's got a beard and is old enough to be behind all the conspiracy. Guy above him, maybe. We're looking for an old person. Oh, that's Peter. It's definitely not Peter. Never mind. He's not behind this conspiracy. He can't even read. He definitely is not capable of writing. Ada Wolf! Welcome to the show. We're about to wrap up this game, and I really hope we'll get some answers. This has been a frustrating game of non-answers on purpose. That's the design of the game. And now we're at the end of the end of the end. We better get some answers. I mean, I say we're at the end. Do we have 20 minutes left, or do we have an hour and a half left? I actually don't know. I wouldn't miss for the world. I've been so busy trying to finish some early, I lost track of time. Sure. Be sure to take some time and relax. Oh, you with your relaxing. So lovely. I'd love to be the bright saint one year, leading off the demons into the woods. Okay. This is still a very, pagan ceremony. That's the only hope of the boys will follow you. Ha ha ha. Apollo, stop that. All right. Sorry, Mom. Christina. It's so scary. I don't like it. Andres, you're alright. We're only in costume. Big masks that our neighbors are wearing, remember? Oh, it's so cold. Alright. Would you want to be the bright saint or one of the perchant? I want to be the bright saint. I wonder who the council would choose to be for next year. Doesn't seem fair that Artemis gets to be the bright saint, since her dad is on the town council. You get your chance, don't worry. Oh my god. These people are just always ready to argue. Passing's done. Perch for loss. As long as I can remember, everyone in the town's been part of the procession before. Well, except for you, the young ones. Yep. I wish my dad could be here. Yep, we'll do that. He'll see next year. Oh, he's not going to see next year. He's probably not even going to see next year, let alone next year's ceremony. Damn, long as ever. Well, at least we're going to eat after this. Okay, so I'm not doing the mural? Oh, hey, Mags. Magda. Whatever. Mags. You made it. I was worried for a minute you'd skip out on the fun. Merry Christmas. Tipsy already. How irresponsible for someone in the town council. Don't hog all the beer. How about just Merry Christmas? We don't need to be rude to him. Look, Baltus made a special batch of beer. And I heard you made cookies, too. Yeah, I made cookies. What of it? I cut them really well, too. Alexander and Kaz look like they're going to play something too. Did you forget Petzimer's name, or are you gonna give everyone nicknames? Whatever. I'm just like, I don't need to be rude. I want to get to some answers. We sing them every year. The mags can't keep them straight tonight. Okay. Okay. Hey! Everyone listen. Jorg would like to speak. Well, we'll see. On behalf of the town's council, I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. How about listen intently? Oh, the royal poobah ate the cookies. I made the cookies. I made like 27 cookies. It was really good. I got an achievement. A Steam achievement. Okay, we've had more snowfall, blah, blah, blah. Look, I am here to discover the mystery that is this game. Let's go. Alexander and Kaz, you've been kept from your journey. Oh, the people over in the corner? Well, I hope they sing. They kept you from returning home. Klaus is bedridden these past few months. Yep, because he's dying of brain injury. The Lord has blessed us with cheerful guests and good company. Cheers, amen! Oh, thanks to be blessed. Let's go. Even though the season has been rough, we'll get to celebrate. You've made tools that we couldn't have gone without. Practicing my trade. Doctor, you've kept us all in good humors. What kind you made? As far as I can tell, they were like shortbread. It was like a very simple cookie. It was in the game, for the record. As proof of my experience, you work at such a cruel weather. Okay. Keep listening. You've been painting the mural for us. Yes, I have. Thank you for entrusting me with the task. I only wish my father were here to celebrate. That's what I'll say, as do we all. You wanted cookies? Yeah, cookies are solid. Alexander Kaz, you've spread good cheer in the early winter nights. Pleasure, truly. And especially tonight. I think we should have thanked Baltus for making such a wonderful beer for us to enjoy. Yeah, it's like beer and coffee and chocolate and cinnamon. Yeah, it sounds like a pretty solid beer. Helped tremendously. Thanks to him, really. Okay. Oh, well, grazie, grazie. And thank you so graciously provided us this feast. Wow, this is a really long speech. And I shall play later in the evening, so please come and join us. Did you dress for the stream? I did dress for the stream. I did. I had a couple outfits that were appropriate, and I've been trading off as I've been playing through this game. And as much as I like this game, I am ready to end it. Let's find the final mystery here. Come on. Our Father, of course. Throughout 26 years, or however many years it's been, somebody has been taunting and teasing people and provoking violence and murder. And hopefully we find out who and why. There's somebody with a very good skill set of writing, which is very few people. There's somebody with access to special ink, and there's somebody who know all the secrets of the town. Amen, 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 amen. All right. You know, now I'm thinking about it, it could be the Smoky guy. He's like totally off everybody's radar because he just lives out in the forest, and he's like a huge gossip, so he would actually know everything. I don't know what his motivation would be, but he has means and opportunity, including knowing where I was in the well. I talked to him about it. Anyways, okay, squint quizzically. I don't want to be a part of this celebration. I am just trying to get through their speech, so I don't want to extend it. Father Thomas, where are you going? Okay. Did we do it? Did we paint the mural now? I guess we're going upstairs. The game is, like, not letting us not move on. Happy Christmas! Merry Christmas! Bless! Merry Christmas! Utterly delightful! Yeah, no, I'm really happy for you and all this, but I really need to say... I'm sure my cookies proved helpful. I really need any information about the conspiracy. Okay. Tongues tied during what matters most, especially after a few beers. Oh, drinks only loosen the tongue. Okay. Yep. I have, like, a series of... Oh my god, this conversation is still going. My only note for this game is there needs to be an abort conversation button when you realize that you're not in any way progressing the story and it's just people chatting. Okay, I'll do what I can. Alright, see you later, stubborn like your mother. I hope so. Okay, see you later, stay safe. Let's not extend this conversation. You're all super drunk. Bye. Oh. So the only guy that I do want to talk to is this guy, because he won't translate the book for me. Whatever. He won't even translate the book for me, so I'm talking to him, and then he doesn't even... Like, I don't get the dialogue option that I want. How about say nothing? Oh my god. And, I can't believe that it's never too late. Oh my god. Again, why did I talk to these people? Alright, I'm leaving and I'm not talking to a single other person. Nobody here is trying to help me solve the mystery. Everybody here is just chatty. Although, it looks like I actually can't leave. That's the door over there. So, how do I actually get out of here? I don't know how to get out of here. Oh. Hello. Good evening. Okay, I do have to talk to everybody in here. Bleh. Hi. Oh, Andres, don't be shy. Oh, sorry. Yes. Here we go. That's right. There's a lot in committee. Hello. Okay, whatever. Did you enjoy the speech? Yes, it's a good reminder. Yep. You did it justice, thankfully. Blah, blah, blah. Honestly, I'm just like... I am so desperate to make progress on the mystery that this idea of, like, spending 45 minutes, like, celebrating the Christmas celebration with these townspeople that I've been, like, hanging out with for, like, 25 hours, it's kind of like, nah, I'm good. Let's get some answers. You're an artist. I think you can see it too. I think so, things getting brighter. You mean that I'm painting the mural? Oh, yes, I hadn't considered that, but yes. Memorializing Tessing's history. Remind everyone of the folks who the townspeople are. To be honest, most knights are grateful for the revolt. How can you be grateful for something so terrible? You wouldn't remember, but life was already terrible before that night. The revolt burned away the dead. Finally, we're talking about something. The revolt burned away the dead wood that had rotted Tassings for decades. That's not technically true. God knows my father was an evil man. His death released me from years of fear. Oh, this is the miller's son. The revolt gave me courage to face him, to become better than him. I think something of the same happened when the abbey was destroyed. If things had gone the way they did, I doubt they would have such a Yule feast tonight. The cost was high, but it resulted in just as much grief as joy. Wow. You really think so? Okay, interesting. That's an interesting. I'm glad I'm glad I talked to these people. What matters is more is how we choose to see it. Oh, that's a wonderful way to look at it. That's great. Something I learned from Father Thomas' sermons. I took it to heart when my father died. Don't forget to take time to have fun tonight, alright? Nope. I'm good on fun. It seems we have a cookies to fetch. Okay, of course. Merry Christmas to y'all. Merry Christmas. Alright. Alright. We're having fun here. No, but seriously, like, how do I get out of here? Do I have to talk to everybody? Do they have to play a song? Okay, enjoying the night. Yeah, everybody loves my cookies. Great. That's nice. Oh, they do have to play a song. Okay, be welcome to us. Alright, how about a good Christian-minded voice? Okay, I don't know. Since it's Christmas, I want to share a special song for you all. Please enjoy. Is this gonna cause a copyright issue? Probably not.
Unseres Herzens Wonne liegt in Praesepio und leuchtet als die Sonne Matris in Gremio. Alpha es et O, Alpha es et O.
I think the game is not going to let me out of this building until I talk to everybody, because this is kind of my last chance to remember these characters. That's what I think the game is doing. This game just doesn't know it's midnight for me. It's fine. I mean, the music is good. Don't get me wrong.
Deine Güte, o Princeps Gloriae, trae me poste, trae me poste.
Well, bravo indeed. Bravo indeed. That's it? We good? Alright. So I gotta talk to everybody. Alright, we're just going through one by one. Merry Christmas! Are you enjoying the celebration? Oh yes, I can remember the last time. Oh, it's nice change of pace. Okay. Oh, especially having to work in this cold. Oh, okay, yep. Grandpa keeps talking about being cold, yep. He's like the oldest guy in town now, little Peter. A special something, burn crops and offering next spring. We had a double harvest. Okay, great. Of course you did, old man. Anyways, like George said earlier, it's nice to have food company. Yes, yes, yes. Paul told me he put you up to making the speech in the first place. You seem hesitant tonight. Thank you for mentioning my father in your speech. You're welcome. Like, what? We don't need to be a jerk. Let's be nice to these people. To be honest, I didn't expect to make such a speech tonight. I just thought about what happened in town this year. That's right. Really? Warner kept insisting that someone make a speech, so... Paul said that was the most charismatic of anyone on the council. Really? He said that... Well, he said that I'd make at least the amount of speech to get angry. Balta said it was my charisma. Okay, alright. I thought it was fitting for the season. Alright. To be honest, I never thought someone in Tassing listened to it. Great. You've always been part of the town council. We didn't always have a town council, that's right. It wasn't until the night of the revolt, really. Felt like things could have been... Be my own man. I love my father, but what he did... I thought it had doomed the town. The whole affair was the abbot's fault. A lot of troubling things happened all at once. No one could shoulder the blame for themselves. I'll say that one. No, but my dad chose violence. He chose to destroy the abbey. I've always went along with him because he was my dad. He had to be right. But that night was the first time I thought any different. I learned that night that you can fight for something right and still choose the wrong way to do it. Absolutely. And I swore that I would never let that happen again. The revolt broke down everything I thought I knew about Tassing about myself. But it made a lot of things better. And that makes me hopeful. What do you mean? Well, our new lord is strict. But he made a deal with us. The council lets us govern ourselves. As much as I was grumbling earlier today, Jorg is right. Life changed in Tassing, and even though the first few years were hard, we're better for it now. Okay, so maybe this is the story of the revolt. No abbot looking down on us, making stupid laws as he sees fit. Our lord lives. Let's just liberalize, I don't know what it said. As long as we pay our taxes, we're left alone. Well, except he's, like, he's out there in the forest shooting stray pigs and threatening to kill people if he thinks they're grazing on their land. So, I mean, he's not benevolent. I know, Grandpa. Choosing to live differently than your dad was brave. I think you made... Yep, okay, great. Yep, let's be nice. There's no reason not to be nice to people. Thanks, Grandpa. ... Anyways, I'm going for another pint. Anyone else? Yes, bring a pitcher. You've had enough. Your humors are off balance. Whatever. No, I'm not going to drink anything. No, thank you. See you later. Merry Christmas, everyone. Alright, I just like literally have to talk to everybody. You finally came over to say hello. So you decided to use my full name now, haven't you? You asked me to. I've asked you to a million times. Oh, hello, Magdalene. Happy Christmas. How's the mural coming along? I'm ready to go paint it right now, but I have to talk to all of you. The history... I heard you're still working on the middle section. Invite me to the Covenant so I could use the cloister's reference. I finished that section now. The old abbey ruins were hard to climb through, but I wanted to paint it right. Oh, it sounds dangerous. Yeah. You went to the old abbey without me? Of course I did. Quite a capable young woman. Oh my god, what is this conversation? Well, clearly you can handle yourself since you made it back without any problems. And I did warn you about the dangers that I told you to go digging around town here, mind? Anyways, what are you painting in the mural now? I'm working on depicting the revolt, but I think I angered Agnes when I asked her about it. Oh, whatever. That's right, you're just a few years old. Oh, dear old Agnes, the revolt made her bitter, especially after losing Lucky. I think helping Bridget and Kev helped her recover, but I'm not so... Okay, whatever. Took years for Tassing to recover. We've come a long way since then. Otto would have been proud of what the town has accomplished. I think so, too. You know, I think he would have especially proud of you for memorialized Tassing in the mural. Great. Would have been thrilled to think you becoming part of the family. I'm honored you think so. Of course, I've been charmed by you for years now. Oh my god, like, I don't want to marry him. Can we get out of this conversation? Stare awkwardly. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Oh, I love that. That's how you get out of a conversation. Stare awkwardly. Have I talked to everybody? I truly want to leave this building. I know what the game is doing. This is the final farewell. Everybody is here having a good time. I'm never going to see any of these people again, and I'm never going to see any of them in such good spirits. So the game is giving me their final send-off, but I am, like, done. Sorry to bother you during the feast. No, it's fine. I'm desperately trying to leave. Did you need something? With all the chatter around the revolt order, it had me thinking you're nearly done with the mural, aren't you? Yes, I am. The last time you talked to the council, you said you were working on the final portion, painting the revolt. I don't mean to nag during the feast. That's Veronica's job. Okay, sick burn, bro. I should have done it. I should have it done soon. I've been listening to people around town talk about the revolt so I can get a better idea what to paint. Everyone has a different idea of what happened that night. But I think I finally settled on what I want to pick. Here we go. Now I'm deciding. Okay, usually I decide there. I want to honor what happens the peasants stood for. I'll show Otto giving a speech and the soldiers in the distance. I'll paint the peasants burning the abbey and the mill and them defending the monk. I'll show in the aftermath of the revolt and paint the ruined abbey surrounded by everyone who died and their families. Ooh. Man, I know we have to decide, and I'm like, when I do things, I always make things way too busy. But I kind of want to do this first part and the third part at the same time. But the game's not going to let me, and I know how the game works. Decisions are final, and there are no right or wrong decisions. So I need to just do it, but still. The aftermath of the revolt, paint the ruined abbey surrounded by everyone who died and their families. You know what? That's it. I'm making a memorial. It was a horrible experience. I don't think that's such a good idea. The meant was honor tasking, not stir up grief. Maybe Klaus was a better pick to paint the mural after all. Oh, see, this one sucks though. I can't take my decision back. Anyways, I'll get out of your way. You've got better things to do. Not again. He can't get the word no, so I'm certain he is. Okay. Well, now I feel bad because if I had known that would be his reaction, I wouldn't have picked it. I wish this game gave you that option. Most games do that, where they're like, are you sure? And you're like, no, I changed my mind after this discussion. This game doesn't do that. You make a decision, and that decision is final. You can't even, like, quit the game. Alright, well, that's too bad, because based on his reaction, that's not what I would have done. I wanted him to be like, oh, that's really sweet. Oh, bless you, Merry Christmas. Oh, she's still alive. Merry Christmas. Were we bothering with the noise next door? No, not at all. Hearing people celebrating Christ's birth brings me great joy. It should be a heartening time for us all. I always think there's some healing. How about I enjoyed seeing everybody? I didn't know if this lady was still alive, so that's cool. Ah, it's fitting to celebrate Christ's birth on some little days. People need Christmas in the depth of winter to remind them spring will return. And we all have a chance to live again. Excuse me. Who is that? It's probably the person following me. Oh, look at that. It is the person following me. Someone who's been following me. Please excuse me. I need to check on my father. Of course. Thank you. The door is open. Is someone here? Dad. So this guy straight up killed my dad, which I totally knew would happen because for whatever reason we didn't feel like finishing a very important conversation. Instead, we felt like getting wood from outside. Oh, thank God. Oh, what? Magdalene, is that you? What's the matter? Someone's standing near the house. The door is open. I was afraid something might have happened to you. I'm sorry, I didn't hear anything. I've been asleep most of the day, most of the evenings, too. I'm worried about you. You're worried about me? You're working too hard. And I know how hard you've been working on the mural. I wanted to finish it before Christmas. I'm still young, Dad. I don't get tired as you do. Certainly not. I was trying to be a little playful with him. I'm not going to make it. I know. People know when they're going to die. It's alright. This is just life. I'm glad I'm going before you, even if it's sooner than either of us would like. I've already seen too much death in my time. Just wanted to show you what I could do. I wanted you to be proud of me. I have been every day of your life. You never needed to prove anything to me. I wish I could stay to see the mural when you finish it, but I don't need to. I know it'll be more beautiful than anything these old hands have ever made. Don't say that. It's true, though. I mean, got along all right. But I always knew you would surpass me before long. You can already see things that I never could. See things and make them real. I'm trying. You're doing it. Whether I die tonight or tomorrow or the next day, I'm not going to be here much longer. One morning, you're going to wake up and you'll have to do things for yourself. Love things for yourself. And you'll have to share it with the world. Love is the only reason to do anything in this life. All this talking, it's too much. Could you bring me something to eat? Of course. I mean, like, I'll go make some soup, but it's like, whoever this person is going to be here, right? The door was open. They're just, like, waiting in the house. Okay. I wouldn't have seen that when I turned around. This is ridiculous. Klaus. I'm sorry, Klaus. About everything. You're here. I've been trying to keep Mandolin safe. I think so. These days have felt like my mind has been cracking apart. I thought I could stop all of this. How am I picking the dialogue for a character I don't know? But I couldn't. So many people paid the price. I've been trying to figure this out the whole time. Is this Andreas? I've been trying to figure it out the whole time. He's not killing people after the fire. That's all I could think about. And them. They never left me. They're all still here, all in the dance of death. The Baron, Pierrot, Lucky, Hannah, Peter, Otto, Casper, August, and now you. So he's not the one trying to kill everybody. He's behind the scenes trying to help people. So he wasn't killing her, he was like spying on her, and that's... Oh God, it's you. Who are you? What are you doing to my father? Magdalene, it's alright, it's alright. I'm sorry, I've forgotten my manners after all these years. Hood. And you likely forgotten my face, or what it once was. This is Andres. I was saying when the last one ended, roll back the tape. He knows the secret exit. Couldn't he have gotten out? But I guess he chose to not reveal himself. Back from the dead. The earliest memories I have from you running into a burning library. I'm sorry, I don't understand. No one could have survived that. Maybe I shouldn't have, but I did. I don't understand. Where have you been all these years? Hiding from the world. In the ruins, mostly. Sometimes in the woods when it was warm. Oh, wow. Stealing bread. Stealing books from you. Oh, so I wasn't going crazy. It's the only thing that kept my mind from forgetting what words are. Wait, how did you survive the fire? Some difficulty. I grabbed as many books as I could and threw them into the scriptorium. When the smoke got too thick, I started to black out. The next thing I remember, Casper was pulling me into the crypt. Your apprentice, the boy? Yeah, I sent him back to Salzburg. He didn't leave. Oh, no. He waited in the woods and watched what happened. When he saw me in the window, he ran through the crypt to save me, and he did. But he saw I was trying to save the books, and he went back in. No! I thought that was a weird ending. So Casper, you basically tell him to like leave you alone and go home, and there's like a reputation check. And the only way to succeed if you constantly have been rude to him. And I was nice to him, so this makes sense. I was nice to him, so he didn't leave. Oh, man, I couldn't stop him. I was barely conscious, and he never came back out. That's why. He felt so much guilt about what happened. Everyone was dead or gone. I couldn't face any of you. I couldn't go back to Sabine, that empty house. So I hid. What a weird way to live. Why have you been following me? And you've been painting over the Dance of Death in the Abbey. Both of those. What happened at the mine was an accident. I just stepped too close to the edge. I'm sorry. That's what I figured. I was afraid to talk to you, afraid to talk to anybody. Did you leave us those notes, the ones with the purple writing? I want to see what he thinks. Ah. No, those were written by a different occult hand. Thank you again for the raid, and we are continuing the game. No, those were written by a different occult hand. One that does not want you to finish your mural. One that has killed and may kill again to stop you from telling Tassing's history. Tassing's history, why? Because Tassing's real history is at odds with the story we've all been told. Right? So I want to give Andreas the book. It's been covered bit by bit, layer by layer, until no one can no longer see. Okay, wow, I'm having trouble reading today because it's very late. But it's still here. It's always been here, hidden beneath our feet. And it's still protected, haunted by the specter of death that has hung over this place for generations. The thread puller. Thread puller beneath our feet? What are you talking about? Are you mad at me? No, I'm not mad. What? I rarely get mad. The person who attacked your father is the same person who manipulated someone into killing Otto. And the Baron. And they traveled through the Roman aqueduct that connects Tassing and Curacao. Have a good night, Fruity. Thanks again for the raid and all the bits and bringing your friends. It's a network of tunnels I've become quite familiar with. Oh, okay. I've seen the ghost that haunts them. It can squeeze through the tiniest openings. What does that mean? So it's a small person then. I've seen it bend itself in half to reach places I could never follow. Okay, I've traveled along every inch of the aqueduct into the old city, but there's one place I've never found. The lair where the thread puller retreats to. The ancient Roman temple that is determined to hide from view. This is so weird. Yes, the Mithrium. You found it! No, but I mapped out a darkness between the collapsed tunnels. And I believe I know how to get there. Okay, so this is going a completely different direction than I thought. Come with me, I'll show you. Can we bring somebody that has, like, a weapon? How about I'll ask my dad? He's a good man. You'll be safe with him. Will you be alright? Yes, I'll be fine. Protect my daughter, Andres. With my life, Klaus, I promise. Alright, let's find it. I don't know. The Rathis. What are we doing here? When the men dug the foundation, they found Roman ruins that had been buried over time. They wouldn't waste a stone, so they used a Roman wall as one of the cellars. There's a way inside. Really? To the hidden place. Alright, let's go. Yes? Alright, let's go. I mean, why are we hesitating? Like, we're acting like this is, like, crazy. This is not crazy at all. This is not even close to some of the craziest things that have happened. But what I don't know is this ghost. Obviously, it's going to be a person. Very Scooby-Doo style. But why are they so, like, agile and good at fitting in things, and they have to at least be in their 50s for the timeline to make sense? 40s, maybe late 40s? The wall is different. Does that mean this is the place? There's writing, and I can read it. No, it's two-sided, new and old. This was above ground once. It carried water. Look. Yes, there's an inscription, and I can read it. Alright, I think I can make it out. Cornelius goes to the bath today and completes the 6th step. Yes, you see. No, there were cults all over the Roman Empire. No? We know there was a Mithrium. I'm going to call it a Mithrium. In Tassing's. But this is just some graffiti. How does it help us? Well, here. Bam! Okay, keep the pickaxe, just for the record. Because somebody's Why is she upset about this? Gamer guy said I'd lose my cool playing this game. It'd be like watching a movie that I had to read the subtitles. It's a friend of the show, the guy who actually developed the Joker artwork. Actually, he has a good friend that did the art for this game, and so he recommended it for that reason. Boop. So the guy who made that art, and so his friend did this game. So I was like, okay, I'll play it. Like, that sounds awesome. Plus, you know, get to support somebody that is like a friend of a friend. And the artwork is by far the best part. What I didn't know is it is a reading game, and I struggle to read. So I've actually gotten much better over the last year. I've intentionally been playing games that have more reading in it, just because, you know, my issues. But yes, this game has a lot of reading. So I'm looking forward to playing the next game with dialogue. I will not be picking a reading game next. I need a break. This is the aqueduct. And I always forget to do voices. The aqueduct carries water to the baths. So you think this one will make it to Mithrium? Exactly. You seem quite confident. You know it exists. I know where it is now. I believe this is the only place it could be. You like reading, but not a whole lot. Like Kindle Paperwhite and reading comic books, right? Yeah, it's a lot. I'm hearing like, yeah, I like reading too. Like, give me a good book, but this is very different. Ah, it must be near the baths. You believe it? Well, you've already smashed a hole, so I suppose we might as well take a look. After you, please. I am also like, tell me the resolution to this story. Tell me the resolution. Manu. I feel like we should have taken the pickaxe, especially because he said that there were, like, lots of paths that were closed off. Alright, bathhouse. We're gonna hit water, right? There's still gonna be water at certain levels. Ah, the decoration. These must have been the baths. Yeah. Doesn't look like there's a way through. All the floods kept carrying it down here. Yep. Hundreds of years of floods. What if we can't get through? What if it's buried forever? Maybe it, well, like, it can't be buried forever if somebody's still, like, actively, like, in here, you know? Whoa! More stairs down. Would something be the blows? A hippocaust. Hippocaust? They used to warm air to heat the rooms above. Hippocaust. Hippocast? Hippocaust? Hippocast? Romans colonies in the north often had them. Let's hope this heaven filled with silt as well. Alright. Boy, this is sure is creepy. Are we in danger here? Do you know where we're going? The pillars just kind of go in all directions. If you look that way, I think I'm going to try to explore ahead. Why would we split up? Why would we split up? Oh, I'm controlling this character now. Oh. I missed the name and skipped the dialogue. Oh, these are the ghosts of all the people that have died. Did you ever believe I was one who did it? No, actually, I don't think he's the one who did it. I sentenced him to death. I thought you had understood what I was forced to do. Your callousness killed us. Oh, so maybe she did do it, based on that comment. Master, why did you send me back into the flames? Oh, that's not fair. I didn't send him back into the flames. Looks like I'm losing my mind, by the way. That's fine. That's a fitting end to this game. Yes, here we go. No, this isn't right. Oh, wow. Throwback to the very beginning of the game. So this is like his mind palace, and it is utterly destroyed. I can't be here right now. How did I get here? Andres, you're still here. Yes, for a little longer. I thought I had gone mad. No, not entirely. But you've been on this road for a long, long time. You must leave this place forever, Andres. You must abandon it for good. But how? What can I do? I don't even know how I got here. This was once a place of refuge for you, Andres. Now it's become a prison. A prison you've constructed to protect yourself. From what? From the pain, from risk, from life itself. Ooh, speaking my language. But I can't stay here. I have to help them. How do I get out? You are the architect. I'll help you as best I can, but you're the only one who can answer that. Oh, we have a labyrinth. This is like... Oh, okay. Hello, Andres. Oh, this is Sabine. This is his wife that he just full-on abandoned. Is it you, Sabine? No, I'm gonna say nothing. We haven't talked in so long. Why? You reminded me of August. August is their kid that died. It wasn't all bad, Andres. We lost him. But we had 4 years together. They were happy years, weren't they? Hard to remember. This great black pain blots out all of the joy. I know. It was hard for both of us. I don't blame you for anything. And you should stop blaming yourself. It may be too late for us, but it's not too late for you. It's not too late for Magdalene. Yes. Thanks. I have to help her. You can, Andres, but you have to leave this place behind for good. I know, I can. I will. You will. This is just sad. Thank you, Sabine. Will I ever see you again? No. Not in this place. But maybe someday, in a better place. In a better dream. So, do we... Now I have to talk to my, like, dead kid too, right? This is how this game's going? Well, I never really knew, so... Oh, no, my apprentice, who I treated like a son. Master Andres. Oh, it's really you. Good to see you again, Master. Say nothing. I just wanted to help you. You couldn't think straight. You shouldn't blame yourself anymore. I let my family down. I let you down. Couldn't stop Peter. I couldn't save Tassing. I couldn't even save more than a couple armfuls of books. You did what you could, Master. Everyone knows you did. And that's really any of us can do. All right, Casper. Thank you. Thank you for everything you taught me. Wait, what happened? This is the way out. Before I started talking to Casper, I know this is the way out. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it was. I can solve puzzles, okay. Labyrinths. Your mind is fighting itself, Andres. It remembers the pain of life. It's trying to protect you from it. Beatrice? Yes. I thought you were gone. You brought me back. Oh. So what do I do now? Keep going. Keep going? But it's blocked off. I have to go back. It's the only thing that makes sense. Keep going or go back? I don't know. I'm going back now. What does keep going mean? Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is our kid that died. This is great. This is what I want right before I go to bed. You two. It's been so many nights, so many years without seeing your face. I thought I had forgotten it. I never never says anything. I know there's nothing I could have done, but it doesn't make me feel any less guilty. It's always been here under the surface, no matter how hard I try to bury it. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. It's all right. What? It's all right, Daddy. Is it? You don't have to hide here anymore. I'm scared. I know. But that's why you can't stay. There are people who need you. It's so hard to let you go. I know. But you have to. Oh, you're right. Thank you. No. Good night. They shifted again. The walls. Still trying to protect you. No. It's not? No, I mean, I don't have to do this. This is my mind, my maze, and I'm leaving. Good. But the next part might be confusing. Wait, I don't understand. I don't understand any of this. Why are you holding the maze? Two things are merging in your mind. You and there are layers to everything, even our memories. Over time, the foundations become buried. We can no longer recall how we got here, no longer recall what we came before. And what came before? Our Lady, watching over the labyrinth, as I watch over you. And even this has its roots that will reach deep into the past. There was not always a lady to watch over the labyrinth, but there was a labyrinth. Right? This is the church. Okay. What? Of course. Oh, now it's so obvious. The lady who locked herself in the room. Of course she would have access to the ruins. That's why she was always digging. She had access to the ruins. So no one would ever suspect her. She did what she did for whatever reasons that we're going to find out, but that makes sense. And then it also makes sense as to why she would have visions every time someone was going to die. That was like, she would like scream and have a bad dream because that was like her way of processing it. Sister Amalia, is it real? Am I still in my mind? You're here with me. We are here in spirit. You looked like Beatrice a moment ago. Beatrice, I don't know her. We are in the tabernacle, the heart of the labyrinth. Ooh, your spirit was wandering and the Lord brought you here. But I don't understand. How did you leave your cell? I have not. We're only here in spirit. What? What? Are we here or are we here in spirit? What is happening right now? I'm seeing things. This isn't real. It can't be. Well, we also have our little friend with us. She's got a little bit more sanity, so hopefully she can tell us what's going on. Realms of the spirits are as real as those of the flesh. Have faith. You are here with me. It is the Lord's will. Andres. Sister Amelie? What are you doing here, sister? This is the center of the labyrinth, the tabernacle. This is where the Lord sends my spirit to do His will. Ooh, boy. He's also guided your spirits here as well. There must be a purpose to it. Sister, we're looking for the Lord's will. This isn't spirit. I walked here through the aqueduct. You're confused. It's understandable. My own visions have perplexed me for all of my life. Oh, this makes so much more sense now. The ghost. She's totally the ghost. She's a very small person, so she could get through these things. Although she's quite old. Throwing that out there. Even though this seems strange. Like, she's also probably like an actual serial killer. Like, that's probably the other problem. And she has these visions. So she thinks she's doing the Lord's will. She's just straight up killing people. Okay. The Lord has called me into this place for many years. He has always made his will known to me. Soon, he will make it known to you. Sister, how does your spirit come to this place? Andreas is still, like, partially lost his mind, so he's like, oh, you have a spirit or whatever. But meanwhile, our friend is like, nah. We're actually physically here. Through the door, beneath life and death. Yeah, the door. When my spirit hears the call, it descends through my grave. She literally has a stairway in her cell. The Lord tells me what message I must bear and to whom. You delivered the messages? Yes, long ago. I was a scribe. I copied many works of the great church doctors. So that's how she learned to write, which makes sense. It all ended with the fire. It ended with my life. Wait. I thought I had given up the pen forever, until the visions returned. No! Is Andres just now finally getting this? I mean, I got this like 5 minutes ago. When the fire took my abbey, I couldn't save my sisters. Not one. All I could do was grab a single book and a bolt of cloth. I couldn't understand why God had spared me alone. He showed me. So in her original abbey, they were all destroyed by a fire and everybody died. So that's how she got to this town. God had a higher purpose for me for my hand. Father Thomas explained it to me. He makes everything clear. He tells me what I must do, what the Lord wills me to do. Thomas is the puppet master and it manipulates her because she's like got a broken mind. It was you the whole time you wrote the notes? I found one by my dad when he was attacked. That'd make more sense because it had to be somebody strong enough. Sister Amelie, you pushed those people into committing murder. What? No, that can't be true. The Lord would not use me for such a purpose. Calm yourself. We'll figure this out. What's happened? Calm yourself. This doesn't make any sense. Why would Amelie want anyone dead? So was Father Thomas the puppet master, or was he just like counseling her? Because he was also like just her counsel. There was nothing in his messages about murder. I'm not here. This can't be happening. This can't be happening. Her messages were like provoking people into violence. But her messages wouldn't have hit anybody over the head. Father Thomas could hit somebody over the head. Mr. Amelie, shh, it's all right. Father Thomas, how did you get down here? Cassing's an old place. It's buried many ancient roads and tunnels over the centuries. People walk above the hidden ways every day without ever knowing it. Though in truth it was Sister Amelie who'd rediscovered them first and found this place. Wait, the dimensions of the room. This is the foundation of the church. Father Thomas, did you... In other circumstances, I would be overjoyed to see you, Andres. In truth, I'm still happy you're here alive, thank God. But I think the occasion for this reunion leaves little to rejoice about. You. You knew about this place. You and Sister Amelie were behind all of the murders? No, she had no part in this. But the notes, she wrote them. She did, but she didn't understand their purpose. I guided her. I told her what to write. To what end? What was the point of all of this? Look around you. What do you see? An ancient Roman paintings of Roman gods, Mars, Diana? Look closer. It looks like the statue of Saint Mortis from the meadow. Yeah. And the images of Saint Thatia from the shrine. Yes. I don't understand. It's St. Mortis and St. Cynthia, and Mars and Diana. The saints are gods. Yeah, I mean, we knew this in, like, the first act. When the Romans left, their buildings, their temples, their statues remained. Christians settled here centuries later. They found them, worn fragments of that imperial grasp. The statue of Mars that once watched over the Roman fields stood there still, headless and nameless. The settlers believed it was Saint Mortis, who was already a legend of where they had come from. We knew this from the first game, that the origin of the saint was BS. But it's like, whatever. That was like common back then to like move Christianity into these pagan places and just kind of take over. They found the shrines. They don't understand. She was an aspect of Diana. She believed she was another local saint. Not uncommon for stories to borrow and tell us. Yeah, exactly. These are not stories. Oh. These are our saints. Oh, he's like still a true believer. The settlers did not see them through pagan Roman eyes, but through Christian eyes. No one knew they were Roman gods because there was no account for what the Romans did and left here. Except for Historia, which is the book. It's not known, perhaps it not even be written then. Who knows how long that book had been lost before it was made. Oh, this guy straight up killed Father Mathis too? And you killed him for it. Yes, with poison. No one suspected. May God forgive me, I did it, yes. When Father Mathis learned there was no evidence that St. Mortis had ever come to Tassing, that the shrine to him was in the meadow was a statue of Mars that the Roman had erected hundreds of years ago, and the Roman goddess, he resolved to deal with it. And you resolved to deal with him? I mean, who cares? Like, so he gets rid of a couple statues, and then 10 years later, everybody forgets about it. Andreas, our people believe in the miracles God has worked through his hand. And they believe in the legend that helped Mortis and watches over Tassing still. Why does it matter if they were wrong if the saints weren't here? And that's worth killing the abbot? I believe it was then, yes. If Saint Mortis never came to Tassing, what is in the reliquary? I got it. What are the pilgrims coming to see? What does it mean for the people who pray to him? Who believed her prayers were answered? What does it mean for the church that has given people hope, fixed like a false star in the dark sky? If the people have reason to doubt the validity of the saints, can they doubt the church? Can they doubt the gospel, the word of God? Perhaps some would, but you've always been told us to accept Christ on our own free will. Yeah. Yes, of course, but perceiving the legends of our saints doesn't interfere with individual volition. You are preserving a lie. I preserved a lie to illuminate a greater truth. To love the world that he gave his only son. Okay, you can't. If you believe this, if you truly believe this, eternal life is yours. And the saints have walked among us, and their relics work miracles. And they hear our prayers, and they answer them. And the two that protect this town were never here. They don't need to know that. There were times when God feels so far away from us in these mountains. The peasants and Tassings can stand in the field, look over the valley, and say, St. Mortis was here. God was with us. He is with us still, and he'll always be with us. And that's the truth, even if the legend is a lie. So many people have died because of what you've done. How about that? I know it's hard to believe, but I was trying to save lives, to prevent death. Well, you've done a bad job at it. No one murders to solve a problem. Because one day, the Baron rode into town with another copy of the book. A copy he promised to give the abbot, so they come to terms with the past. And If Father read its contents, you'd be facing the same danger you saw in Father Mathis. In retrospect, given how Father G chose to run the Abbey, my fears may have been unfounded. Exactly, he would have gone with the lie. That sentiment didn't prevent you from doing it again. You're right, it didn't. Why? But then why Otto? Certainly he didn't have anything to do with it. He couldn't even read. In the end, his murder provoked Peter and the others to destroy the Abbey. I never thought that would happen. I underestimated Peter's anger and the peasants' frustration. You still didn't say why you killed Otto. He can't read. So you killed him to prevent an uprising, but caused it instead. Exactly. Someone else killed him, as someone else killed Baron. What? And it wasn't to prevent an uprising, but to stop him from showing people what he found. What he found when he's helping to dig the foundation. Oh! The wall of the aqueduct. No, everyone knows about the old aqueducts. That wouldn't cause alarm. Alright, well, I guess wrong. What he found was a stone head. The missing head of the statue. Okay, and then it says Mars right on it. How did it wind up over there? Most likely culprit are rain and floods and time. It reminded me that the farmer find old tools and pottery in the fields every year. Yes, and the head remained hidden for centuries. It sat in the soil until Otto found it. And he was going to show everyone that the god had favored the town with his discovery. What Otto could not know is that it wasn't of the saint. That's right, because he can't read. Because Otto could not read the word chiseled across the helm. But the man he entrusted with this information, the town priest, could. Yes, that's why he killed him. Okay. And you told him to meet you at St. John's Eve, blah, blah, blah. I could not let him destroy our town's beliefs. And you had poor Sister Amelie write down what you told were her visions she couldn't remember, and deliver them in the dead of night to Guy, Hannah, and Martin. So he didn't actually physically kill anybody except for the original father with poison, and then everybody else he did try to get them killed. So one of them would murder Otto just as someone murdered the Baron. What about my father? Now he did hit his father. That's... oh, excuse me. That one I'm confident on. Why'd you do it? It doesn't make any sense. I lived next to you my whole life. How could you? None of this was easy for me. I always thought I was doing what needed to be done. This guy's a real jerk. Was it because of the mural? Well, of course, yes. Klaus pursued the project with the determination of a guilty man doing penance. He kept digging and digging for answers about Tassin's past. I was afraid that sooner or later he would find out more. This place, everything. So you tried to kill him. No, I tried to scare him. First with the note, but he ignored it. I thought if I ransacked the workshop, it would scare him off. Didn't expect him to come down so quickly. It was just an accident. Yeah, it was like the middle of the night. It wasn't an accident. You almost killed him. Actually, you did kill him. He's going to be dead soon. So what are you going to do now? Kill me? No, of course not. What do you mean, of course not? I'm neither the means nor the will to do so. Okay. You just get other people to do your killing. That's, you know what? In a way, that's even worse. But even if I can't stop you from telling people what I've done, I can stop you from finding this place. Oh, he's just going to kill us all. No, Father Thomas, stop! It's too late for me, but I can still take the secrets with me. Father, you're gonna kill us all, you're gonna kill Amelie, then leave, and take her with you. You can tell the townsfolk what you want, but if you stay here, we'll die together. You really just kill yourself to destroy the church just to hide the secret. This can be rebuilt more easily than faith. Ooh, I'm willing to pay the price for that. This guy is a true believer. And I always liked Father Thomas too. They totally got me. This game got me. Father, go! Yeah, we should probably go. I think I would have started running after the first time he hit the post. Like, no thank you. Are you alright? How's Sister Amelie? She's still out, but I think she's fine. Must have heard that at the Golden Hand. The entire church collapsing? I'd hope so. What are you going to tell them? What do you mean? About this? About everything. Why wouldn't we just tell them the truth? For the same reason Father Thomas hid it. So we should reward what he did, all the people he's hurt? Better to punish for the people of Tassines? What good will it do to tell everyone about the saints? Maybe Father Thomas was right about that, if nothing else. Maybe it would break their faith. I think he's wrong. I think people here have enough faith to hear the truth. You know them better than I do. Especially since I've been away for so long. You've been living in these caves. Came back all this time to solve this, but it's hard to feel like we've actually accomplished anything. At least the game provided me a resolution. I thought this game was going to end on a, maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Father Thomas won't be able to hurt anybody else. Maybe he never would have. I think you're right. We should tell them. About the saints, the Romans, all of it. I hate that doing the right thing feels so awful. I'm sorry. I am too, but I still think it's what we need to do. Then we'll tell them. Good. We should get Sister Amelie someplace warm. We can take her to my house. You'll probably have some explaining to do. A lot, I think. It's been a long time coming. I'm glad you didn't die in that fire. I am too. I think. Merry Christmas. Okay, weird ending. Wow. Weird. Weird ending. They did a good job of making me, like, not know what was going to happen, right? You made it back. Andreas and Sister Amelie and I all made it back. Sister Amelie? Yeah. She was in the church. I heard a terrible din outside the house. It shook. Is everything all right? Well, no. Everything is not all right. I don't know how to say this. Everything is not all right. I don't think so, but it will be. Are you all right? Yeah, sorry. Just tired. Sit by me. Tell me what happened. Yeah. Explain this. Started, well... I think Andreas might be a little crazy. Wait, am I going to just retell this whole message right now? Are we going to, like, fade to credits? Because I kind of want to fade to credits. I don't really want to tell the story of what just happened. Oh, we are going to tell the story of what just happened. I was really afraid I lost him, that we both got lost down there, but then I heard his voice off in the distance. I was so... Oh! Did he fall asleep, or is he dead? No, that's another victim of Father Thomas. Okay, so that guy is a straight-up multiple murderer. I was blaming Sister Amelie right away. That was bad. That was bad of me. Yeah, we knew he wasn't going to make it, but this is still not a great way for that to have gone down. Not super happy with that. I know it's hard. I mean, I can only imagine how hard it is. I'm slightly losing my mind, so I'm singing weird things that don't make sense. But we will all do our best to make you feel welcome when you get here. It's strange to think it'll probably be the last letter I send you. Okay, bye. Good, I'm glad it's not like a super prolonged letter. Magdalene. Oh, we're gonna go back with this guy? I guess we could travel together. I'm sorry to disturb you, but I want to let you know that everything is in order. So that all the financial matters will be handled. Money will be forwarded to you via whatever as soon as everything is settled. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Of course. I did not know your father well, but I know he was great, wonderful. I'm very sorry. Nod. Good fortune to you. Okay. I mean, this is it, right? This is the end. So, I'm a little, like, okay. Like, let's go now. How do we actually end it? I guess we have another chance to talk to everybody. Yeah, I mean, part of me is like... Part of me is like, I'm done. Do you have everything you need? I think so. Yep, wheat flour. Great, you're traveling. And you're having cramps. I know, I'll use it. Thank you so much. Okay, thanks. Got it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Yep, thank you. Okay, miss you too. This game has like 5 endings. It's not gonna let me go. I have to talk to everybody, right? That's okay. I have to talk to everybody. I wish the game didn't force you to talk to everybody, especially because some of the conversations I'm just like, okay. I'll miss you all dearly. Alrighty. See you later. You'll get over me soon. Tassie won't be the same without you. Safe travels. See you later. Oh, Otto, Otts never really liked you, so... Sorry about your dad. He was always nice to me. Mom said he was a good man. She's right. Okay. Well, thanks. See you later. Sure you don't want to marry me? I'm sure. No. Oh. Oh, that was a fast answer. Didn't even have time to think about it. Oh, I thought about it. Look after your mother. Good morning. Are you off soon? Yes, father's last farewells. Okay. Didn't get a chance to know you. That's okay. You're taking over a difficult town to take over. I'll keep up my guard. Safe travels. Nope. Can't leave the screen until I talk to everybody. Are you leaving today? I am headed to the mill. Sorry for everything that happened. It's alright. Thank you for helping me. You're welcome. You need a little better judgment. You need to atone for what happened. Perfect. God knows you didn't mean to do harm. Yep. Okay, there we go. And, yep, greatest darknesses. It's worth remembering. Bless you. Safe travels. It's a little weird that, like, my final, like, farewells are with people that, like, some of these people I barely knew. How do I get out of here? Like, seriously, I have to go up the mill? Like, I have to go... Hey! Wow, he looks a lot better shaved. You sure look alright. Of course, you look perfectly respectable. Little worse for wear, good sign, okay. It's kind of the woman to help me clean up. I'm afraid I've forgotten how to look after myself. Some would say you took care of yourself quite admirably. How many men could have survived in a burnout cellar for the better part of 20 years? Subsisting on discarded rye, no less. Sorry about that. We already told you, it's all right now. Oh, hello. Are you off soon? Yep, I'm leaving. Leaving as soon as I can. I'm sorry to see you go. Prague after Prague. Yep, it's a busy city. I'm sure I love it. Have you had a chance to make your life your own there? Oh, God knows I've squandered so much of mine. Use the time you have left. Use it well. I will. I don't know how, but I will. A little dot dot dot. I wish I could have seen it. I know. You would have loved it. I hope so. Okay. That's kind of you say. Oh, we need words of encouragement. I wanted to ask you something about the mural before you go. Sure. I thought it was supposed to cover the whole wall. Why did you leave a section blank? For the future. Unless history's going to stop at tasking the moment I roll out of the road. Ha ha ha, I think your wagon's about to leave. Oh, is it? Oh, hardly feels like enough time. Yeah, see you later. Thanks for everything. Bless you. Oh. Oh, Andreas, are you alright? I'm lost. That's alright. You're welcome to stay with us as long as you need. Children require your expertise. Oh? They're up on the mill, the walkway. We'll have supper ready when you're done. Just remember, you're always welcome in our home. Thank you. Thank you. It sounds like Andres may have an ending after all. I mean, this one's named after him. That's a little strange. Well, there we are. And there's the mural. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know if I made the right choice about the mural. There's no music at the end. Oh, there we go. I just heard a little. Well, I'm going to take this to mean these are the credits, so I will provide my final thoughts. Starting off with my perception, I had read that it was kind of a raunchy medieval mystery, like adventure game. I think that's not incorrect. I just feel like it didn't capture the spirit of it, because so little of it was raunchy. Like, that is not the word. They threw in some curse words because that's just video games these days, I guess. But but I didn't feel like it was raunchy at all. That just seemed like the wrong word. I will say, it's made by Obsidian. It's a good game. My major frustrations, I think, were in needing to be like a gamer who solves puzzles, and they intentionally force you into decisions in Act 1 and 2 that you don't know the answer to, and you never do, and even at the end of the game you never do. They solved the mystery of the thread puller and Father Thomas and all that, and I'm glad they solved that, because they could have just not, and it would have driven me nuts. But you know, it's a game where you make a lot of decisions without knowing the consequences of those decisions along the whole way. And sometimes you need a game like that. Sometimes you don't need a game that you can just quick reload to your last autosave and fix all your mistakes. So I definitely want to play those every now and then. Every game can't be easy, and every game can't feel like you've played it perfectly. So kind of sometimes making mistakes is good. So that I'm not actually complaining about, but if anyone were to play this, I would want to explain that to them. Because I spent a lot of time in Act 1, like trying to figure out what I had done wrong, or kind of repeating some things. Often the dialogue was really slow, so that's a downside. So sometimes it was really interesting, and it was kind of fun how you could craft a conversation in a way and then kind of earn points with people. That was really cool, because that very much felt like a reputation system from like a Fallout or something. You know, these are the same people who made Fallout New Vegas, and there's just some, like, I got some Fallout feels in some of the ways the character creation worked. But then so many of the times I'm just like, oh, I want to skip this dialogue, or like, oh, I never wanted to talk to this person. And it'll be like 10 minutes before you can end a conversation, and you're like, whoa. This is a long conversation that I do not care about. So, just stuff like that. Positive and negatives. Overall, very much enjoyed the game. And the artwork, by far the best part. Absolutely. No doubt there. So, I don't see them... Like, there's no reason for a sequel, right? Hopefully Obsidian keeps making games. They make good games. So, but yeah. So here we are. Knowing what I know now, I probably wouldn't have streamed it. That's what I would say, honestly. I probably wouldn't have streamed it. Because it is a lot of reading, and that is a challenge for me. But it is a good game. So good job, artwork people. Definitely the highlight was the artwork. Narrative director, Josh Sawyer, of course. So, yeah, there we go. We'll call it there. We will assume that this is the end. Sorry to skip through here, everybody. Yeah, so I would say for me it took like 25 hours. I think it takes a lot of people less. But yeah, if I could give any recommendations, it would just be a cleaner way to handle some of the dialogue that maybe you don't want to necessarily do. Other than that, very happy with the game. Would recommend. So thank you everybody for joining me. Have an absolutely wonderful week. I'll see you Saturday morning for my next stream, and next Wednesday for a brand new game. New to me, maybe not new to the world. But yeah, time to find a new game. So thank you everybody. Goodbye.